The Phoenix Mercury, what a name. I know. Now we'll get into some of the Twitter files because the Twitter files are big. But again, I'm not going to like hammer on this for too long. It's been talked about a million times, but I know a lot of you guys tell me that you only watch me as a podcast, which is like so humbling, and I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me, so I feel like I need to talk about it. I'm waiting for the official holiday to return from MLK. But Elon Musk put out a tweet just now saying Twitter is working on software update that will show your true account status. So you know clearly if you've been shadow banned, the reason why and how to appeal, which is incredible. And I'm not saying that I've been shadow banned, but I've been consistently at the same number until Elon Musk got in. Now we get to the portion of Barry Weiss confirming everything that kind of been going on with the whole Twitter file thing, which is, it's been so annoying to just like read through all the Twitter file stuff, but let's go through some of them together. I can't wait for Britney's take on Twitter files. Me too. And if she cut her own hair or not. A new Twitter files investigation reveals that the teams of Twitter employees build blacklists, prevent disfavored tweets, of course, from trending, and actively limit the visibility for entire accounts or even trending topics, all in secret without informing users. Again, I feel like I don't really need to talk about this because a lot of us already know this kind of stuff and already feel this way. But I just want to remind you, I've literally been in arguments with people saying that shadow banning is a right-wing conspiracy. I have lots of times, and it's a private company. Who cares? I've been through this conversation acting like it's not a big deal. But this is why Elon buying Twitter is so freaking important, because it is our modern town square. You and I are connected right now via the internet, not person to person, mano a mano. So that's why it's a big deal. 2, Twitter had a mission once to give everyone the power to create and share ideas, blah, blah, blah. Take, for example, Stanford's Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, who argued that COVID lockdowns would harm children, which came out to be true because you can't lock people in and make them afraid of the other while putting a mask on them without any kind of effect, especially in the brain, emotionally. And children are highly affected by that because they're children. They're not adults. They don't think as logically as you and me because their frontal cortex isn't fully developed yet. As we continue, trends blacklist that prevent the tweets from trending. So Twitter employees picked out certain accounts and they actually clicked blacklist this person. We live in a democracy. Wink. And then we continue. Number 4, or consider the popular right-wing talk show host Dan Bongino, love him or like him, at one point was slapped with a search blacklist. Again, people constantly told these people that they were right-wing conspiracy theorists by saying, oh, you can't find yourself in the search function? Okay, you this is just a right-wing conspiracy. It's just your tweets suck. That's all it is. So many kids offered themselves during lockdowns. Yes. Suicide went up like crazy. It still is incredibly high because we have an entire generation of children who haven't built social skills between each other and emotional skills, and they've been hindered academically and just the typical growing patterns you see in children because of the way we handled the pandemic. But no one wants to care about it. Who cares? Just make sure they vote blue. You know what I mean? Next, Twitter then set the account of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, oh my God, sick, to do not amplify, which is crazy. Don't you love these little like notifications? Notification spikes, search blacklist, and then they have like these things that you can just like click to undo. Do not amplify. I'm sure that the lockdowns would have messed me up. Yeah, me too. As a kid, those lockdowns would have screwed me up. They would have screwed you up. You think that you would have handled it differently because you're an adult now. You're not a child. So, especially, I see it today. I see it today with children who are still afraid of meeting new people, still afraid of communicating with adults, still afraid. I still see kids walking around with masks on today, and they're not required to wear it because they feel safe with it on. And we have parents that clap this kind of crazy, pushing, allowing them to do it too, instead of challenging some irrational beliefs about what the masks, what the social anxiety that comes with wearing them and taking it off and being able to see, people to see you and stuff like that. We have an entire generation, and these kids are going to continue to grow up. They're going to need help, a lot of help. Hell, my adult friend in California were afraid to see me because I was unvaccinated. Well, good, because you're disgusting. But yeah, I have family members that were like, I don't know if I can be in the same room with you. I'm okay with you being unvaccinated, but will you put a mask on before we hang out? Because I'm not sick. Yeah, I know, but I totally support you for, choosing your right to take it or not. But just put a mask on for my safety. Thanks. It became forced security blanket for the kids, and that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And we have parents who and still today are encouraging this behavior instead of challenging it. We have an entire generation of kids who are struggling to challenge their thought processes or what they believe to be true or their identity and stuff like that. We have an entire generation of kids who are encouraged not to challenge these ideas, but lean into them and believe them with all your heart, soul, and mind. These kids are going to grow up so messed up, and it's the adults' fault. It's the adults' fault for not speaking up. It's the teacher's fault for not pressing in. It just makes me sad as somebody who works with people like this. So job security for people in mental health, which is not necessarily a good thing, but it's just sad. Purebloods are going to be valuable soon. Thank you. I am. Papa, I'm in SoCal. You and me, brother. Okay, here we go. 6, Twitter denied that it would do such things in 2018, which we all saw. They all argue saying, hey, we don't censor people. We don't shadow ban people. We don't down-regulate people. And that was a lie. It's just like Joe Biden. Hey, he never lies. He'll get ice cream with you. Twitter's Vijay Gotti. I purposely get that name wrong, by the way. Kayvon Cooper, head of product, said, we do not shadow ban. They added, we certainly don't shadow ban because on political viewpoints we certainly don't shadow ban based on political viewpoints or ideology. Wink, sure. But we'll go after Charlie Kirk and Dan Bongino. No affiliation whatsoever. 7, what many people call shadow banning, Twitter executives and employees call visibly filtering. Don't you love when they take a language or they take a word and redefine it or rephrase it so that you feel better about it all? Next, multiple people, high-level sources covering its meaning. 8, think about the visibility filter as being a way for us to suppress what people see to different levels. It's a very powerful tool, one senior Twitter employee told us. Yes, because when you're godlike, you can control speech and censoring stories like Hunter Biden, which was Russian disinformation. Don't ever forget that. I haven't seen my favorite former cousin in 3 years, still because I'm pure blood. She can't handle that's sad. That kind of stuff is still sad to me, that people are still like that. I don't get it. That's when you know it's a religion. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're not Christian? I can't hang out with you because you're going to engage in sinful behavior. It's like that same kind of ideology, just like that same kind of thought process. It's crazy. My entire friend group was excited for me to come out for a week. When they remembered I was unjabbed, a weekend-long hangout devolved into a Sunday lunch. Okay, I'll be your friend, Papa. Okay, as we continue. VF refers to Twitter's control over visibility. If used, VF to block searches of individuals to limit the scope of particular tweets' discoverability, to block select users' posts from ever appearing on the trending page, and from inclusion in hashtag searches. Hey, we're not censoring. We're just choosing what we want people to see. It's different. We're not a publisher. 10, without users' knowledge, which is the most annoying thing. Again, okay, perfect example. My last live stream on YouTube was taken down. I woke up this morning with it saying, you violated community guidelines. I appealed it and I said, what did I violate? It would be important for me as a content creator to know what I violated. Because maybe if I cared, I would be able to not do that again. But they just took down the video. They didn't say anything. They didn't say why. They didn't give me a strike. They just took down the video. And then I was like so confused. This is the first time since I've been on YouTube for a while that they've just taken down my video and not said anything to me. And again, I don't care. I think it's annoying, but I just don't understand why my video was taken down. What did I violate? And so it's the same thing with Twitter. You're like, oh, well, you violated it. You violated our terms. Okay, what did I violate? Well, I don't need to go into that. Well, then how am I going to learn? Or how can I appeal it? Or how can I tell you you're wrong? It doesn't matter. You don't need to know. You're not the one in power here. Just sit down, shut up. You're cis white, ginger, male. God, I hate you. You're disgusting. Next, 11. We control visibility quite a bit. And we control the amplification of your content quite a bit. Oh, really? That's so interesting. And normal people do not know how much we do, of course. One Twitter engineer told us. 2 additional Twitter employees confirmed, which we all thought was true. And again, so many people thought that people with this idea of like, I keep tweeting, no one responds to me, I have all these followers, and no one is liking anything I send, retweeting, engaging with me at all. Why would you be on the platform if you never engage with anyone? It just never makes any sense. Derek, if the overlords tell you how you screwed up, then you'll never learn what you did wrong. That's true. So I'll always be wondering, YouTube, what did I do? I'll make it right. What do you want me to do? I'll take my shirt off. I don't care. YouTube teaches you through punishment not to say the wrong thing. Yeah, of course. Well, that's my entire show. Say the wrong thing. All right. Then we continue. 12. The group that decided whether to limit the reach of certain users was the Strategic Response Team. America's Strategic Response Team. Global Escalation Team, or CERT-GET. It often handled up to 200 cases a day. You know what's it's going to be the most depressing thing? Is if you think that you're shadow banned and Elon Musk puts out this information and it turns out you were never shadow banned. You just be like, oh, so I did suck. Okay, God, I hate myself. Don't take off your shirt, Derek. Those lights in your room seem bright. You're guaranteed to burn if they don't. You trust me, you want to see these nipples. All right, as we continue. Where were we at? 13. But there existed a level beyond official ticketing, beyond the rank of file. Moderations follow the company's policy on paper. That is site integrity policy. Yeah, integrity. Integrity is a fun word to use if you don't know what it means, right, Twitter? Policy escalation support, known as SIPIS. The secret cabal, included head of legal, policy, and trust, Vijaya Gadde, the global head of trust and safety, Yoel Roth, who's totally off him, subsequent CEOs, Jack Dorsey. Oh, so Jack Dorsey knew. And Parag. Thank God. Now we know what those thousands of employees were doing all day. Yeah, well, there you go. Great point. You know, it's no wonder, Elon took them all down because they weren't really doing anything important besides, well, it must take a lot of employees to censor that many people. Going after Charlie Kirk and Dan Bongino, that's who you deem as dangerous. That's when you know you're weak. They're the dangerous ones. Okay, as we continue. 15. This is where the biggest, most politically sensitive decisions got made. Think high follower count, controversial. Another Twitter employee told us, for these, there would be no ticket or anything. Well, yeah, because you're just like, if everyone believes all the same thing in San Francisco, you just trust the individual. Why? Because they all read the same Bible as you. Next, 16. One of the accounts that rose to this level of scrutiny was Lives at TikTok, the fact that that account triggers so many leftists is so funny to me because she literally just reposts things that they post. And that's dangerous? Then don't post. How dare you be that kind of logical? Slap myself silly. Next, Lives at TikTok, an account that was on the Trends Blacklist. Oh, a Trends Blacklist. So anytime she was ever trending, they decided, well, no matter what you do, you could have 1 million likes and we won't trend you. And was designated as do not take action on user without consulting with SIPIS. Why? Because she was already blacklisted here, already not allowed to have notification spike, recent abuse strike. Do not take actions on user without consulting. Because everyone in the company, I'm sure, wanted to click that button immediately every time she was like allowed back on. Meanwhile, Keith Olbermann can call for a violent revolution, but to be fair, nobody would really listen to if he was amplified. Yeah, that's true. Well, of course, you got actual terrorists on Twitter, and they're like, no biggie. Or you have actual child porn on Twitter, and it's like, yeah, but did you see Charlie Kirk say that we should all vote for Trump? That's dangerous. Think about it. Libs of TikTok is so dangerous. Don't tell us what she said. We'll tell you what we said. Exactly. 17. The account which Chaya Rajik began on November 2020 is now boasts 1.4 million followers. Was subjected to 6 suspensions in 2022 alone, Rajik says. Each time, Rajik was blocked from posting for as long as a week. I'm sure I'm getting that name wrong. I don't care. Lefty's logic never holds crazy responsible. Only the people pointing out the crazy and the bad guy. Well, yeah, when you're a part of a revolution, a cult, these people are good as long as they're acting on your side. They can be as crazy as they want. They can be as violent as they want as long as they think right. Amen. 18. Twitter repeatedly informed Rayek, I don't know. I'm so bad with names. I'm so bad. I can't even. As she has been suspended for violating Twitter's policy against hateful conduct. That's like me on Twitter. Hey, you violated our terms of service. Oh yeah, what did I violate? I don't know, but you did. You know what you did. 19. But in an internal CIPIS memo on October 22, after 7th suspension, the committee acknowledged that LTT, Libs at TikTok, has not directly engaged in behavior violating of the hateful conduct. Oh, right. Because she literally just reposts what they post. Hey, that's hateful. Hey, you're putting people's lives in jeopardy. Like if you took one of my videos and just reposted it, and then I was like, hey, please don't post that. You're putting my life in danger. You would probably respond like, Derek, well, maybe stop your podcast. I don't know, call me crazy. You are crazy. Twitter is no longer a liberal safe space, and that is triggering to me. It finally turned into what was always what it should have been. I'm excited to see what Elon can do with the platform. I wish Elon was like true freedom of speech, like that thing that he got rid of Kanye for. I'm like, okay, that's childish, but at least he came out and said it. Whereas like before, people would get taken down or they would get censored, and people would just be like, I don't know what I did. What am I doing? Oh, plus, did everyone listen to Kanye's new song? It's a banger. And I know everyone on the left is like, doesn't know how to handle themselves at the moment when it comes to that song. They're like, this song's awesome, but it's Kanye. Maybe he's racist. 21. Compare this to what happened to Rajek herself. Was doxxed on November 21st, 2022. A photo of her home and her address was posted in a tweet that generated more than 10,000 likes and was doxxed by none other than Taylor Lorenz, who is a journalist. 12. Because what's more important? Getting down to, corporate greed or politicians lying to you. We need to know who is behind this anonymous account who's reposting people. God, who is it? Probably a white male. Oh, it's not? Oh, crap. Elon is a businessman. He's not a champion for free speech. By doing what he's doing, he's regaining the trust of a massive group that has been marginalized for the last decade. Yeah, 100%. The fact that you will be able to see that you're shadow banned is why it's huge. Yes. Knowing whether you're shadow banned or not is like, that will make people less anxious. That will make people trust the platform. That will make people feel more at ease. The more you can openly express yourself, the more you can know what's going on in the world, the less crazy you'll feel, because it's like constantly. I always talk about this. It's like lying to a child over and over again. You're like, hey, this is an apple, and you're like, that's not an apple, it's an orange. You're like, actually, I'm pretty sure it's an apple. My teacher says it's an apple. I'm like, it's an orange. Shut up and just deal with it. And so you start to feel kind of crazy. And so that's what's putting people at ease. The more we can just relax and have open dialogue and be able to express different ideas, and for us to be able to know if we're shadow banned and stuff like that, or know the truth or know the facts, that's when people will start to relax a little bit and actually just be human and be decent. But we have this crazy thing. Trigger should be called Goosed. Yeah, that's probably true. Mr. Free Ride, what's up? By doing this, he's planning on Twitter becoming a profitable business. Well, yeah. Well, making people pay $8 to be blue check marked, I mean, that's an easy W. There's so many people who use Twitter all the time and that weren't allowed to be part of the secret cool kids club, who you could just go on Google and actually buy some of these blue check marks, which people never knew. I didn't even know, because like, why did I care? I didn't care. But like, now everyone could be in the cool kids club. Everyone can have a voice. Everyone can be open and honest and dialogue. And it's just like more, it's just going to be good. Except when you call it Apple, you're being fat phobic. Thank you for saying that. 2022, when Ryjek told Twitter that her address had been disseminated, she says Twitter support responded with this message: "We reviewed the reported content and didn't find it involved the Twitter violation of Twitter rules. No action was taken. The doxing tweet is still up." That is insane. Like, they think that like libs of TikTok is putting people's lives in jeopardy by just reposting. Allowing a tweet like that to stay up when the user doesn't want it up, or if it's about somebody else's, that is putting someone's life in jeopardy. And they don't give a flying... Like, they don't care. And I say this all the time, they don't care if you die, as long as they are proved right and they stay in power. It's always, everything's a power struggle with them. Everything's a power struggle. That's why they talk about power constantly, because they're so fixated on dominating. Because domination means they can be free and put you in your own metaphorical cage. Love or hate Elon, he's the only person in upper class doing anything. That's a perfect example. There are tons of quote-unquote conservative rich people who don't do anything or don't engage in culture like this. They don't engage in any culture. They're just like, okay, I'll donate to Mitch McConnell. Sure. I'll donate to Trump. Sure. But they're not engaging in culture like Elon is. Elon is like literally putting himself on the line for saying, you know what? I care about your freedom of speech so much. I care about the environment so much. I'm willing to like do Tesla. I care about space so much. It's like he's putting his money where his mouth is. You don't see a lot of people like that, and it's just refreshing. Tell that to Taylor Lorenz, Derek. She's got so many mean emails because of her doxing. Yeah, I'm sure. Because she deserves it, though. I mean, you dox a citizen over reposting stuff. You deserve some mean emails. And I'm sure those emails are far and few between. And they're not actual threats. They're probably just like some 13-year-old idiot. I get tons of stuff. I don't give them. I don't care. I like what? I carry everywhere I go. So there's that. Catch me outside. How about that? I agree, Papa. He's muddy. He's a muddy knight. The brain chip is off-putting to me. Brain chip's off-putting. It's a little weird. And the fact that he's concerned about AI, but then yet puts forth AI. And I don't know if you guys have been messing with Chat GDP yet. That thing's freaking nuts. If you're in high school, if you're in middle school, if you're in college, you don't have to write a paper ever again. Ever. You don't have to, ever. It's so unfair. It makes me angry. What people say online carries way too much weight to some people. Thank you. Yes, Willie. That is a fantastic point. Way too many people care about what people say. They're just like, because it's written, people are like, treat it the same way as like reading a book. They're like, oh, we need to dissect this. When 90% of my tweets are just jokes, or like on my TikToks, like I get constantly banned on TikTok, like weekly. They'll give me like a 7-day ban and stuff. And they won't tell me why. So what I've been doing in my description is starting out, TikTok, this is a joke. Because they have taken down my content constantly for disingenuous content. I'm like, yes, that's what a joke is. God, I get that you're Chinese and you're just like, we don't have a lot of Chinese comedians. We don't know what that is yet. But like, this is ridiculous. Next, 23. The internal Slack messages. Twitter employees spoke of using technicalities. Hey, we're just using technicalities to restrict the visibility of tweets and subjects. Here's Yoel Ross, Twitter on global head of trust and safety, in direct message to a colleague early in 2021. She says, let me get this up. A lot of times, SI has used technically spam enforcement as a way to solve a problem created by safety under enforcing their policies, which again isn't a problem per se, but it keeps us from addressing the root cause of the issue, which is safety policies need attention. I love that adults talking about safety. Like, you're just like, are you an adult? In the twisted mind, your joke is a microaggression. It hurts their feelings. That's so true. Of course it is. I'm microaggression against Joe Biden daily. Next, 24. 6 days later, in a direct message with an employee of the Health and Misinformation Privacy and Identity Research Team, Roth requested more research to support expanding non-removal policy interventions like disabling engagements and de-amplification/visibility filtering, aka shadow banning. Next, 25. Roth wrote, the hypothesis underlying much of what we've implemented is that if exposure to e.g. misinformation directly causes harm, misinformation directly causes harm, and define harm. No thanks. We should use remedies that reduce exposure. Shadow banning. Again, shadow banning is just a right-wing conspiracy. Oh crap, it's right there in front of me. I'll take a bullet for safety. TV Funhouse. Hopefully the cult will eat their own eventually. Yes, they will eventually eat themselves. You can never be woke enough. You can never censor yourself enough. You're creating an appetite of children of hunger that they can never be satisfied. They're going to continue to want more. 26 added, we got Jack on board with implementing this civic integrity in the near term, but we're going to need to make a more robust case to get this to our repertoire of policy remedies, especially for other public domains. Jokes could be misinformation. Yeah, they are misinformation. 28. Authors have brought, it's like the Babylon Bee. That's all misinformation because they're jokes. That's why they're fun. Well, I guess not all of them. Hold up, jokes were disinformation. Your jokes are like licks and stones, are like sticks and stones, licks that break my bones. Exactly. Well, that's true. We found out last week that words actually do harm people, hurt people freely. Did you hear NBC News is going to have their kid news program that makes my top 10 ways to destroy kids? Oh God. NBC News is going to have their kids news program. I remember growing up in my school, we had a kids news program. Channel 1 News. Did you guys have Channel 1 News? And that was all propaganda. I mean, that was all it is. And my teacher would always force us to watch it. And it was always about climate change. It was all that crap. Haven't you seen the video where I forgot who said the words can literally injure? Yeah. We did it on this show, Ashley. You should check it out. Jokes are taken seriously, and it's hilarious to be hateful. Welcome to the left. Yeah, but that's like if learn to laugh at yourself. Like when I was a teacher, when I worked with middle schoolers, I would constantly tell them the best thing you can do in middle school, because middle school is hell on earth, is to learn to laugh at yourself and not take yourself so seriously. Because people are going to say mean things to you. People are going to say insane things to you. And if you can learn to laugh at it and then respond in a comedic fashion, you're going to go so much farther in life. Oh, never mind. Derek said what I was trying to say. Okay, sorry. And then we go on to 25. The authors have broad and expanding access to Twitter files. The only condition we agreed to was the material would first be published on Twitter. 29. We're getting started with our reporting. Documents can't tell the whole story here. A big thank you to everyone, blah, blah, blah. And Luke Rukowski writes, the game is rigged. Yes. Yes. It just constantly confirms what everyone already believed about everything that's going on. Nothing's new under the sun, Everybody else. That's all I have to say about that. But it's insane. Of course it's insane. But everyone already thought this stuff. I think the biggest thing that came from that whole story is that Elon saying that he's going to let people know if they were shadow banned. I think that's very important for people's mental states and just for transparency, because it's just like it's like YouTube's rules. They said I violated the rules. Well, if you would be more specific with your rules, people would understand whether they should even be on your platform. But you stay vague enough so people stay on your platform, build a community, and then you have the power to take it away or not. And it's just like, it's depressing. That's just another reminder for you guys. If you like my show, be sure to subscribe to me on Rumble, because there will be a day that I'm off of YouTube. It's only a matter of time.